Hi there, BookTube! My name is Christina and welcome back to Novel Niche. Today is a bit of a different video. That's also the reason for a bit of a different setting here because I just had to film this right now, otherwise I cannot walk around my house anymore. And the reason why is that I decided to, in order to kind of enhance my hype for some of the books that I already own, physical books that I own on my bookshelves, I decided to ask my boyfriend slash fiancé for some help, and I asked him specifically to select 5 books from my bookshelf that he will put in a box and that he will give me. So I have to check them right now because otherwise when I will walk around the kitchen I will just see the halls, the space where the book was supposed to be, and I will try and guess what book it was. So I just want to open it right now. It's still a surprise, so let's see what he selected. The first thing that you need to know is that he hated the experience, so I assured him that I will probably make him redo it like around July, so that I will have some books for the second part of the year. And these are 5 books, so if everything goes alright I will try and read them before the end of June. Plus I don't know if there will be some books that I've already read, maybe, and he doesn't know it, so then I will have less books and then I will finish sooner and restart sooner with the project. But that's the way that I kind of invented in order to feel as if the books were new and as if they are a new gift. And this box, I already had it around my house. It was from previous gifts in the past, so I already had it and now I will use it for this purpose. So without further ado, let me get into the books and let's see what he selected. So this, I won't be watching. This is what it looks like inside right now, and let me go with the first one without looking. Whoa, this is big. This is very big. It's a chunker. This is a non-fiction and it's Alexander Hamilton by Chernow, and this is the non-fiction biography, let's say, of Alexander Hamilton, and it's also known as the book that inspired Lin-Manuel Miranda to write Hamilton the musical. I'm a huge fan, I adore it. I got Disney Plus for a couple of months just to rewatch Hamilton. That's the level of love that I have, and I listened to the music kind of almost non-stop, pun intended. If you're a fan of the musical, you know what I mean. And this is a book that that I owned for a couple of years at this point, 2 or 3 years, and it's a gift of a friend of mine, and I've not read it yet because it's a chunker and I'm a little bit intimidated, but maybe I will just start it and slowly go and try to finish it. It is 800 and something pages, so that would be perfect for my plan of reading books with more than 600 pages. That's definitely one of the chunkers that I own, so that's the first one, and it's a non-fiction, so far so good. Then the second one that I have is a hardback, from what I can feel. Yes, it's a hardback and it's the very beautiful and amazing The Binding by Bridget Collins. And you've already seen this one in my Christmas haul. This is literary, I believe that it's a fantasy. It's not literary fiction with some magical realism. It's more like a fantasy book, and we are living in this world where people are able to bind some memories, some like bad memories or just something that you don't want to remember. Those memories are bound into a book, and so that you don't live with them anymore. And apparently at the beginning of the book our protagonist discovers a book with some of his or her memories. I'm not even sure if it's a male or a female protagonist, but this is amazing. My plans were actually to read it this autumn because of the colors of the cover, but why not? I will try and read it before the end of June. And it's absolutely beautiful, and I believe that he decided for this one because I was gushing about this book and about how beautiful it was, like underneath, overall, just amazing. So I think that he grabbed this one because I was so happy when I got it. Let's go with the third one. So I can feel a hardcover, a paperback, and one paperback, hardcover? I'm not sure. So let's go with the other hardcover. It is actually a book in Russian. Oh, sorry, I just almost made the camera fall. And this is a classic. It is from my collection of classics, international classics in Russian. And this is actually a book that I've never read, but since one of my goals is to read more in Russian too for this year, it's just perfect. And it's by Jules Verne, and it is the 15-year-old captain. I believe that the translation may be something like that. And this is a classic adventure, like one of those books that I believe that I would have loved as a child, and I own it for so long, and I love it. I think that he decided for this one because of the cover, the color of the cover, since it's red, and I love red. And plus because I asked him to pick some books not only from the front but also from the back of from the second level of books that I have behind, and this is one of those, I think. So I'm very satisfied. So 3 out of 3 for now are just on spot. And now we have the last two, so let's go with this one. This is Night Circus. Wow! Again, this is a book that I would associate more like with maybe autumn, winter, but I've never read anything by Erin Morgenstern, and I own her The Starless Sea, so it just seems fitter to read first the first book and then the one that she published later, even if they're not related. But The Night Circus is a fantasy, a very well beloved one here on BookTube, and it is about a circus that appears and disappears overnight, and I believe that it's also about a magical competition between two people. Wow, this was so famous years ago that I never reread the synopsis, so that's what I try to remember from other videos that I watched. But yeah, that's great, that's unexpected. And the last one that I have here seems to be a chunker with a bit of a strange cover. What is it? Oh, this is for sure something that I won't be able to finish, I believe, by June, but it's a book that I will be able to slowly read and make my way through. And it's funny because he doesn't really watch my videos that much because they're in English, so he just kind of watch the thumbnail and just likes it sometimes for the fun of it. But I mean, he decided for 2 books with more than 600 pages. This one is 688. And oh, I've not yet told you the title. It's I Miti Greci, or Greek Myths, by Robert Graves. And Robert Graves is a very well-known author with his collections of myths and stories from different cultures. He has this one, he has one with the North myths, and this is a very extensive work, and it's with a very small font, so it's very full packed. But Greek mythology is something that I always loved. I used to read a lot of books with legends and myths taken from Greek history. When I was a child, I had a bunch of books about it, and it was so fascinating back in the days, and I will try and read these ones. I believe that out of all of these are the 2 that I can kind of get sooner to. They are not so big. I mean, The Night Circus is around, what is it, like 490 pages. This one is more like 450 pages. They are not small books. He went hard for it. Then the binding is with around 440 pages, and then we have these 2 big chunkers, and for these 2 This will be more like an ongoing read, and probably this one too, because it's really a chunker, and so I will see how it goes. This was absolutely all over the place, but in the best way possible, because if it was me, I wouldn't have probably selected these specific books. So I'm very glad with it, and later I will go there and thank him so much, because he was struggling. He was like sighing all the time and he seemed desperate. I was here in my room so that I wanted to influence him in any way or look at him, and I just could hear him being desperate, and he was mumbling to himself like, why me? Why am I supposed to do this? So he did pretty well for someone who was so desperate. And so yeah, if you are watching, I don't think so, but if you're watching, I love you and thank you so much. But otherwise, let me know down below if you've read any of these books, or if you're planning to read any of them, and so that we may chat about it. And I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye! Ciao!